Hello, dear students. We are studying the voice of the rain, and we have come up to this point where the rain says, "Eternal I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea." It had been explained. What does this mean? Or one is literally clear meaning that the evaporation takes place at all temperatures on land and also and mainly deep inside the sea. And here it is of it refers to the senses from which our bodily senses, physical our senses that we have in our bodies, like eyes, ears, skin, nose, etc. Of we get uh, a stimulation from the world. We and those things form ideas and feelings, and they finally become points. But the bottomless, what has been referred to as the bottomless sea, outside in the world it is the sea, and internally it is the psycho-emotional zone of the human beings that have been referred to as the bottomless sea. Because there in that zone the feelings of interact, the feelings of get formed into such a way of that they result into an outburst. But that outburst can be weeping, crying, or sobbing, and sobbing, weeping, crying. This is not poem. It becomes poem when that outburst is uh, given in the form of a language. All right. So eternal I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. Where? Out of the land and the bottomless sea of, well, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed and yet the same. Now from that place of all this rises, all the evaporation that takes place rises into the sky, and there it is vaguely formed as a cloud. Alright? And so these feelings which human beings can, these feelings go to their minds, their heads, and there inside the mind of it mingles with the language, and then in language it is of delivered. That is the cloud. Means externally you see clouds, and psycho-emotionally it is the linguistic form in which the feelings are translated. So that is as the clouds are formed in the sky, so such things are formed in the human minds. And from there, and yeah, now of upward to heaven, whence from where vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. Now when it has taken the shape, it has taken its shape in language, or it is altogether changed, but actually it is those feelings of. That's why William Wordsworth said that poetry is the outburst of strong emotions recollected in tranquility. Means when the person is peaceful and there this thing is formed, then it comes. All right. So what do we find? we find that it is those feelings only that are formed as the uh, poem. And as the rain falls down, so the poem comes out of the pen of the poet or from the mouth of the poet, and then it is there. I descend to lave the drought's atomic dust layers of the globe, and as the rain falls down, descends, so does the poem descend from the pen of the poet or from the mouth of the poet. And then what does the rain do and what does the poem do? How are they similar? This similarity between the rain and the poem is here onwards mentioned by the rain, okay, which is which has been translated by the poet for ourselves. All right, actually, it is all the work of the poet. So here we may say that the poet wants to show us the similarity between the rain and the poem. Now, I descend, descend means to come down. I descend to lave the drought's atomic dust layers of the globe. So, in the next class, we will say how these things are, uh, how the poet shows the establishes the similarity between the two things.